Halloween is a classic slasher movie directed by the great John Carpenter from all the way back in 1978, and despite its age and some issues, it's still as unsettling as it was when I was a child, and as I imagine it was back in the year it was released. The movie tells the story of Michael Myers, who, as a child of only 6 years old, murders his teen sister on Halloween night. Locked away for 15 years in a sanitarium, he escapes one night and heads back to his hometown of Haddonfield, Illinois, where he stalks and kills more unaware victims on the anniversary of his first murder. The movie opens with a voyeuristic POV long tracking shot made to look like it's in one take of Michael grabbing a kitchen knife, a mask, and stabbing his sister to death before rushing outside and being stopped by his parents, at which point his young age is revealed to us. It's the first big shock of the movie, and it packs one hell of a punch. We then jump forward 15 years as a very nervous-seeming Dr. Sam Loomis, played by veteran actor Donald Pleasance of James Bond fame, heads to Smith's Grove Sanitarium to take Michael to a trial hearing, only to find out that somehow the inmates are out, including Michael, who steals the car and flees. Loomis calls the Haddonfield Police Department to warn them of what he knows is coming, and heads there for an inevitable showdown with what he believes to be pure evil. The next day is Halloween, and teen Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis in her first feature film role, drops off a key at Myers' old abandoned home, which her father is trying to sell. Unbeknownst to her, Myers is just behind the door and has decided that he wants to make her one of his victims. He begins to stalk her throughout the day while she's at school and while she's out with her friends, Annie and Linda, who he's deciding to stalk and kill too. What follows is a very slow burn of Laurie babysitting for two children, Tommy and Lindsay, while her friends are stalked and killed in the house across the street. She eventually goes over to investigate after a creepy call from the house, where she comes face to face with evil and narrowly escapes with her life as Dr. Loomis comes in to save the day. But this evil isn't finished. It's still out there somewhere, lurking in the shadows and ready to kill again. Made for a very low budget, this movie is simple but surprisingly effective, thanks to its slow build of creeping dread and tension before an adrenaline-fueled finale, which is something that Carpenter does very well. The incredibly creepy and iconic score, also by Carpenter, really gets under your skin while watching. The cinematography by Dean Cundy also deserves a mention for an almost overwhelming amount of shadow for Michael to be lurking in, and with his use of wide shots, which has become a staple for Carpenter movies. Whilst not necessarily the first slasher movie, it did start the subgenre and fill it with the then brand new but now cliches we've come to know, love, and spoof, like the harbinger of doom, the masked killer that doesn't need to run to catch you, can't be killed, is ridiculously strong, and the final girl who lives to come back in the sequel. I can easily see why so many movies went on to copy the things that made this classic so effective.
I'll be right back.
I'll be right back! I wish I could have been there in the 70s just to see how people reacted to Michael sitting up again and again and again. Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasance do a brilliant job as the main characters. Laurie is a genuine sweetheart who cares for her friends, and rather than running like the wind when she escapes Michael for the first time, she goes back across the street to try and keep the kids she's babysitting safe, even though Michael is hot on her tail.
You can't kill the boogeyman.
Dr. Loomis is played brilliantly, setting up how terrified we should all be of Michael before his killing spree even starts. He's also strapped and ready to throw himself into the danger that even he's scared of, to try and save people from the psychopath that he's tried to keep locked away from the world for 15 years. The supporting cast does a good job too, with PJ Soles, Nancy Loomis, Charles Cyphers, and the two child actors Kyle Richards and Brian Andrews all helping keep the movie feel believable and tense. There are a few awkward moments of dialogue and directing.
Well, kiddo, I thought you outgrew superstition.
But I can easily look past these because of the low budget, how early it was in the careers of some of the people involved, and how effective the movie is in its creepiness. But please, people, close your damn car doors. Michael Myers is an incredibly terrifying horror icon, silent, sneaky, deadly, and motiveless, moving slowly to savor every moment of his murder spree. He steals a plain white mask as soon as he gets into town, which, while very basic, is beyond effective. It's the perfect encapsulation of the emotionless psychopath that Michael is, but there are nice touches in the performance and script that show that Michael does clearly have an appreciation and fascination with murder, like with the puppy-like head tilts after Michael pins Annie's boyfriend to the wall with his knife, or with the bedroom of horrors that Michael has set up for Laurie to find in the climax. It's no wonder this character has scared multiple generations and carried on through 11 other movies through the years. Halloween is a masterclass in atmosphere and tension that proves you don't need a big budget or buckets of blood to get under people's skin. The movie, the score, and the characters are iconic. even almost 50 years later. It's not just a slasher. To me, it's the slasher, and it deserves to be watched and remembered long into the future.
You know, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare, huh?
Was the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.